Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. Pope Francis will preside over the final part of the funeral of Cardinal George Pell, which will take place on Saturday in St. Peter's Basilica. The late Australian cardinal died on Tuesday in Rome at the age of 81 due to heart complications following a hip operation. His REQUIEM Mass will take place at the altar of the Chair of St. Peter within the Vatican Basilica. The principal celebrant will be Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re, Dean of the College of Cardinals. A host of other cardinals and bishops are expected to concelebrate the Mass. Pope Francis will then preside over the rite of committal with final commendation. Cardinal Pell had served as the prefect of the Vatican Secretariat for the Economy from 2014 until 2019. May he rest in peace. The new Italian government has announced it plans to appoint a special envoy for persecuted Christians around the globe. The announcement was made by Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani while visiting the headquarters of the Order of Malta in Rome. On Tuesday, during the visit, Mr. Tajani asked for the help of the order in the work of the new envoy. Mr. Tajani is part of a new government headed by Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni, who came to power in October of last year. At present, the only other European country with a special envoy for persecuted Christians is Hungary, where the government is led by Prime Minister Viktor Orban. The Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency has used a visit to the Vatican to express his commitment to a world without nuclear weapons. Rafael Grossi was received by Pope Francis on Thursday. During his visit, Mr. Grossi emphasised the necessity of finding multilateral solutions to global issues and to preventing nuclear escalation. He highlighted the delicate situation at the nuclear power facility in Zaporizhzhia in Ukraine, adding that he will shortly travel to the war-torn country for his fifth time since the crisis there started. Mr. Grossi also pledged to rid the world of nuclear weapons. He explained that he was meeting Pope Francis because in this trying time, he said, he felt the Pope's voice and words were essential in addressing the many grave threats presently faced by humanity. The United States House of Representatives has approved a resolution denouncing recent acts of vandalism, violence and damage against pro-life organisations and churches. House Resolution 1233 was proposed by Republican Representative Mike Johnson of Louisiana and was passed on Wednesday by 222 votes to 209. The resolution declares the sanctity of life and lauds the significant role of pro-life organisations, clubs and churches play in aiding pregnant women, newborns and family. Additionally, it also urges the administration of President Joe Biden to exercise all applicable law enforcement authorities to defend public safety and to protect the rights of pro-life facilities, groups and churches. After the Supreme Court's ruling of June 2022, which handed back control of abortion regulation to the states, there has been an increase in the number of attacks against churches and pro-life pregnancy clinics across the US. The Archbishop of the Syrian city of Aleppo has lamented the plight of Syrian Christians as they face another brutal winter. Archbishop Denis Antoine Chada said a lack of fuel has left many people with no options when it comes to heating their homes. People are dying of cold, said the prelate, adding that the situation is very ugly in the country, which is still reeling from a decade-long civil war and multiple economic embargoes. It's estimated that close to 600,000 people have died in Syria due to the civil war, which has also aggravated the mass exodus of Christians from one of the cradles of the faith in the Middle East. The President of Indonesia has publicly acknowledged and apologised for many of the country's human rights violations in the past. President Joko Widodo listed 12 such occasions, including the purge of communists at the height of the Cold War. Some estimates place the death toll for those killings at around 500,000. President Widodo said, with a clear mind and an earnest heart, I, as Indonesia's head of state, admit that egregious human rights breaches did exist in numerous situations. Indonesian troops are also accused of human rights violations in the majority Catholic East Timor after Indonesia annexed the country in 1975 following the withdrawal of its former colonial power, Portugal. A Nigerian bishop says he is praying for peace after violence in the northern state of Benue claimed the lives of over 40 people over the past 2 months. Bishop Wilfred Chikpa Ngabe of the Diocese of Makurdi also called all persons of goodwill to continue to raise awareness of the killings and to put an end to such atrocities. According to reports, Benue State currently houses the most internally displaced people in Nigeria and has witnessed 42 deaths between November the 8th of last year and January the 9th of this year. The violence tends to be perpetrated by jihadists, armed bandits and herdsmen. In most cases, the victims are Christians. The Church in Argentina is celebrating the 10th anniversary of Pope Francis's pontificate. Elected in 2013, Pope Francis is the first Latin American pope and the first pontiff to belong to the Society of Jesus. Now the Argentine bishops, headed by Bishop Oscar Ojeo of San Isidro, are urging all dioceses in the South American country to participate in the celebrations from March the 11th to the 19th, the day Pope Francis began his Petrine ministry. The bishops of the United States have announced 9 days of prayer, a novena for protection of human life. The novena will begin on January the 19th and will end on January the 27th. Each day's intentions will be accompanied by a short reflection and suggested actions to help build a culture of life. Some of the daily prayer intentions include succour for the defenceless unborn child in danger of abortion, the restoration of legal protection for the unborn, the change of heart necessary to end all abortions, and crystal clear scientific and moral education on the dignity of the human person. A Christian nurse from Texas is suing her former employer after she claims she was fired for seeking a religious exemption from administering contraceptions, an exemption which had been previously granted to her for 6 years. Nurse Robin Strader had been employed by CVS Pharmacy. She raised her case in federal court on Wednesday, where she's been represented by the First Liberty Institute, which aims to defend religious freedom. They claim that CVS fired the nurse because it, quote, just did not like her pro-life religious beliefs. The case continues. There is no religious freedom without truth, so says Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York, ahead of Religious Freedom Day on January the 16th. Cardinal Dolan, who is also the head of the Committee for Religious Liberty of the US Bishops, said that the Church's mission in political life is to bear witness to the truth. Allowing people and communities the freedom to pursue and witness the truth is the main goal of religious freedom, he said. He also warned that if we abandon the priority of truth, natural law, human nature, and the common good, then we abandon freedom itself. A 176-year-old Catholic church and pilgrimage site in Malaysia has been given the rank of minor basilica. It's the first time that a Catholic church has got the rank of basilica in the Muslim-majority country. The declaration in Latin elevating St. Anne Church in Penang as a minor basilica was read during Solemn Holy Mass, held on January the 9th by Cardinal William Goh of Singapore. The capital of Uruguay will host a great rosary of blessings for the family on January the 28th. The organisers of the prayer vigil in Montevideo say they are seeking the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary and will place before her all their intentions. In addition, they reminded everyone that a family that prays together stays together. The organisers also wish to place Jesus and Mary at the centre of all families. The vigil was started in 2012 by a group of lay people and 2 priests from the parish of the Miraculous Medal. Well, that's all your latest headlines for now. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also join us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.